when roughing in a house for satellite television, it is important to make certain provisions to ensure reliable and high-quality installation. Firstly, use high-quality RG-6 coaxial cables with double shielding. Secondly, run at least 4 RG-6 cables to the exterior wall facing southwest. 2 cables are for the dish connection, and the remaining 2 are for future expansion or satellite internet. Choosing an exterior wall with a clear line of sight to the southwest sky is crucial. Avoid walls with obstructions such as trees, buildings, or power lines. All RG-6 cables should be run from the exterior wall to a central location in the basement, typically near the electrical panel. This location will serve as a central distribution point for all satellite signals. Install a multi-switch distribution box at the central location. The distribution box will split the satellite signals and distribute them to multiple rooms. Install coax or phone connection plates in all rooms where satellite television or phone service is desired. Place the plates in convenient locations, such as behind televisions or near the floor. Run 2 RG-6 cables from the distribution box to the exterior wall where the satellite dish will be mounted. Use a weatherproof sealant to protect the cable connections. Consider running additional RG-6 cables for future satellite services, such as satellite internet or streaming television. It is very important to properly ground the satellite dish and all cables to protect against lightning strikes. Securely fasten all cables using cable ties or clips to prevent damage or tripping hazards. Clearly label all cables at each end to facilitate troubleshooting and future expansion. It is highly recommended to hire a certified satellite installer for the proper installation of the satellite dish and cabling. The use of high-quality RG-6 coaxial cables is essential for minimizing signal loss and interference. RG-6 cables have a larger conductor and better shielding than older RG-59 cables, resulting in improved signal quality, particularly over longer distances. Running 4 RG-6 cables to the exterior wall provides redundancy and allows for future expansion. If the homeowners decide to add a second satellite receiver or satellite internet service, the additional cables will already be in place. Choosing the correct exterior wall is critical for optimal satellite signal reception. The satellite dish needs a clear, unobstructed view of the southwest sky to receive signals from the satellite. Trees, buildings, and power lines can block the signal and cause interference. The central distribution point in the basement serves as the hub for all satellite signals. This location should be easily accessible for maintenance and troubleshooting. Installing a multi-switch distribution box allows you to split the satellite signals and distribute them to multiple rooms. The distribution box should be compatible with the type of satellite service being used. Coax or phone connection plates provide a convenient way to connect satellite receivers and phones in each room. The plate should be placed in locations that are easily accessible and do not obstruct furniture placement. Running 2 RG-6 cables from the distribution box to the exterior wall ensures a strong and reliable signal to the satellite dish. The cable should be properly terminated with F connectors and sealed with weatherproof sealant to prevent moisture from entering the connections. Considering future expansion is important when roughing in a house for satellite television. Running additional RG-6 cables will make it easier to add new services in the future. Grounding the satellite dish and all cables is essential for protecting against lightning strikes. Lightning strikes can damage electronic equipment and cause fires. Cable ties or clips should be used to secure all cables to prevent damage or tripping hazards. Loose cables can be easily damaged or become tangled. Labeling all cables at each end makes it easier to identify and troubleshoot problems in the future. The label should include the cable's destination and function. Hiring a certified satellite installer ensures that the satellite dish and cabling are installed properly. A certified installer will have the knowledge and experience to optimize the satellite signal and prevent problems. Following these best practices will ensure a reliable and high-quality satellite television experience. The homeowners will be able to enjoy their favorite shows and movies without interruption. When selecting RG-6 cables, it is important to choose cables with a solid copper conductor and double shielding. Solid copper conductors provide better signal conductivity than copper-clad steel conductors. Double shielding helps to reduce interference from other electronic devices. When running the RG-6 cables, it is important to avoid sharp bends or kinks in the cable. Sharp bends can damage the cable and reduce signal quality. The cable should be routed in a way that minimizes the risk of damage or wear. When installing the multi-switch distribution box, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions. The distribution box should be properly grounded and connected to the satellite dish and receivers. When installing the coax or phone connection plates, it is important to use the correct type of connectors. The connectors should be properly crimped to ensure a secure connection. When connecting the RG-6 cables to the satellite dish, it is important to use a weatherproof sealant to protect the connections from moisture. Moisture can corrode the connections and reduce signal quality. When grounding the satellite dish, it is important to connect the dish to a grounding rod that is buried in the ground. The grounding rod should be made of copper or other conductive material. When labeling the cables, it is important to use a permanent marker or label maker. The label should be clear and easy to read. When hiring a certified satellite installer, it is important to check their credentials and experience. The installer should be licensed and insured. By following these best practices can ensure that homeowners have a reliable and high-quality satellite television experience for years to come. Always consult local building codes and regulations before beginning any wiring project. These codes are in place to protect homeowners and ensure safety. Using a cable tester after installation is a good way to verify the quality of the cable runs. A cable tester can detect shorts, opens, and other problems that can affect signal quality. Consider using surge protectors on the satellite receiver and other electronic equipment. Surge protectors can protect against power surges that can damage electronic devices. Regularly inspect the satellite dish and cabling for damage or wear. Damaged or worn cables can reduce signal quality and pose a safety hazard. Keep trees and other vegetation trimmed away from the satellite dish. Trees and vegetation can block the satellite signal and cause interference. If the homeowners experience problems with this satellite television service, contact a certified satellite installer for assistance. A certified installer can diagnose and repair problems with the satellite dish, cabling, and receiver. Ensuring proper grounding is essential for safety. An improperly grounded satellite dish can pose a serious electrical shock hazard. The grounding wire should be connected to a cold water pipe or a dedicated grounding rod. When installing the distribution box, make sure it is properly ventilated. Overheating can damage the distribution box and reduce its lifespan. Use high-quality connectors and fittings throughout the installation. Cheap connectors and fittings can corrode and cause signal problems. Consider using a signal meter to optimize the alignment of the satellite dish. A signal meter can help you find the strongest signal from the satellite. Keep a record of the cable runs and connections. This record will be helpful for troubleshooting problems in the future. Inform the homeowners about the proper use and care of the satellite television system. The homeowner should know how to operate the system and how to prevent damage to the equipment. Following these additional tips will help to ensure that homeowners have a safe, reliable, and enjoyable satellite television experience. When selecting a location for the satellite dish, consider the aesthetic impact on the property. The dish should be placed in a location that is not visually obtrusive. Check with the homeowners association or local government to see if there are any restrictions on the placement of satellite dishes. Some communities have rules about the size and location of satellite dishes. Consider using a dish that is painted to match the color of the house. This can help to make the dish less noticeable. If possible, locate the satellite dish on the back of the house. This will help to keep it out of sight from the street. When running the cables, try to conceal them as much as possible. Run the cables inside walls or under the siding. Use cable concealers to hide the cables that are visible. Following these tips will help to minimize the aesthetic impact of the satellite dish on the property. In addition to providing satellite television service, the RG-6 cables can also be used to provide satellite internet service. Satellite internet service can be a good option for people who live in rural areas where high-speed internet access is not available. Satellite internet service typically requires a separate modem and router. The modem connects to the satellite dish and the router connects to the modem. The router provides wireless internet access to computers and other devices in the home. Satellite internet service can be more expensive than traditional internet service. The speed of satellite internet service can also be affected by weather conditions. However, satellite internet service can be a good option for people who need high-speed internet access and do not have access to other options. When installing a satellite internet system, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions. The system should be properly grounded and connected to the satellite dish and modem. The modem and router should be placed in a location where they will not be exposed to extreme temperatures or moisture. The cable should be routed in a way that minimizes the risk of damage or wear. By following these best practices can ensure that homeowners have a reliable and high-quality satellite internet experience.